The ancient Sith Empire of Legends were infinitely powerful, holding armies of lethal Force sensitives and legions of loyal troops, with one goal: conquering the known galaxy. But what would happen if the Sith Empire invaded during the Clone Wars? Now, officially, the Sith Empire of Legends under the Sith Emperor Vitiate existed thousands of years before the events of the Clone Wars and is Legends. So for this theory, we're going to apply the Sith Empire of Legends with the canon galaxy around the time of the Clone Wars. So we're going to say during the Great Galactic War, a large contingency of Sith Imperial troops and ships head into the unknown regions in secret and colonize a world. Here they continue to carry out the Sith regime for over 3,000 years, hiding their presence from the rest of the galaxy. And even the Sith, meaning Sidious nor the Jedi have any clue that they still exist. We're going to say that around the time of the Clone Wars, the Sith Empire is under the control of an incredibly powerful dark side user similar to Darth Malgus, a fearsome Sith Lord from the Galactic War era. Now, this new empire, after waiting over 3 millennia, starts sending spies into the known galaxy and discovers the impending war and decides that this is the right time to make its move and assembles its armies and fleets. We're going to say that the Sith attack during the time the Clone Wars is at its most bloody, about halfway through. Now, by attacking at this time, both the Republic and CIS are relatively weak, with both of them pouring all their resources and finances into fighting the current war. We're going to say that the Sith Empire is going to go for the most dangerous target first, and at this point, in my opinion, that'll be the Republic. The Sith know the Jedi are going to show the greatest amount of resistance, along with Sidious, who I'm guessing that they'd be able to sense was a dark side user, and therefore it's essential that they remove these threats while they still have the element of surprise on their side. So I believe that the Sith Armada would make a beeline straight for Coruscant, and although the Republic homeworld was in many ways a fortress by this stage of the war, a rogue Sith assault would be the last thing that they would expect. We're going to say that the Sith carry out this assault similarly to how they did during the Great Galactic War, using stolen shuttles and hitting hard at military strongpoints, primarily the Jedi Temple. Now, since we're using the Sith of Legends against the galaxy of canon, their Sith are going to be a lot more powerful. Not to mention, the Jedi were fairly weak themselves at this point. They had been under the influence of Palpatine, and the war had made them out of touch with their true philosophy of the Jedi Code. For this reason, we're going to say the Jedi Temple is razed, and all its inhabitants are killed. The Senate building would be raided, and the Sith would prioritise killing Sidious as quickly as possible, as he was a rival. Now, realistically, Sidious versus a legion of hate-driven Sith Lords, I don't think that he would stand for too long. Meanwhile, the terrified senators would be forced to surrender their clones and jurisdiction of all worlds under the Republic to the new Sith Empire. Now, the senators would probably do this, as without Sidious, officially the control of the military would be dictated by the Senate. Meanwhile, the Senate building would be destroyed along with all Republic strongpoints that were not surrendered to the Sith. Essentially, Coruscant would be locked down and turned into a fortress for the new Sith to use as a staging point for the rest of their conquest. Now, at this point, the galaxy will undergo a huge shock. With the Republic leadership and key protectors destroyed, and likely a huge portion of its army now answering to the Sith Empire, the Republic worlds can do one of 3 things: attempt to hold out on their own, attempt to join the CIS to re-establish control, or kneel before this new Sith Empire. I believe that many of these worlds would choose the latter, as hatred for the Separatists ran deep in most Republic worlds, and the Sith Empire had proven itself too strong to stand against alone. From here, the Jedi would likely attempt a counterattack. However, without their armies, this would be futile, so I believe that they would approach their once comrade Dooku, the chairman of the Separatist Alliance, and this will go one of 2 ways. Either 1, the Separatists under Dooku decide that the battle with the Sith is far more important, and with his master dead, Dooku decides that the galaxy must be restored to peace, and the remaining Republic loyalists and the Jedi decide to join with the CIS. Now, a united front of the galaxy against the Sith would possibly be enough to stand against this new empire. However, it would be a very hard-fought war. It would probably lead to huge portions of the galaxy being totally wiped out, as the ancient Sith were known for their brutality in warfare. Or the second option, that I personally think is a bit more interesting, is that Dooku, after seeing the awesome power of these new Sith and how they butchered his master, he would pledge himself to them. The armies and resources of the CIS would surrender to the Sith Empire, and Dooku would become more powerful than he ever would have been under Sidious's tutorage. Now, the Empire relatively has power over the entire galaxy at this point. The Republic loyalists would have nowhere to turn, and they would be forced to make refuge on one of the worlds that remained out of the Republic and CIS and Sith control. However, I believe that this would be an unwinnable fight. The Jedi and remaining Republic forces will be hunted down and forced to make a final stand, but ultimately a Sith Empire victory would be imminent. Ultimately, if the descendants of the ancient Sith Empire did attack and take control of the galaxy, it would be devastating, and it would shock much of the galaxy. But what do you think? Would they be victorious, and what would the galaxy under this empire look like? Thanks for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated and helps the channel grow. Also, please remember to tick the bell, as YouTube hasn't been sending everyone notifications for when my videos have been released recently. And finally, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLoreGuy for regular updates. But most importantly, thanks for watching. I really do hope that you learned something new and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.